Strength is not measured by the size of your muscles, but by the power of your mind. Life is a battlefield where your greatest weapon is your mental toughness. Every person faces pain, failure, betrayal, and obstacles, but only those who are mentally strong rise again and again until victory becomes their habit. A mentally strong person is not someone who never falls. A mentally strong person is someone who falls 10 times and still rises the 11th time with more courage, more wisdom, and more fire in their soul. Mental strength is like a muscle. It grows when you train it. Just like you lift weights for your body, you must lift heavy thoughts, face challenges, and overcome fears to build your mind. And when you do, no storm, no person, no failure can break you. So the question is not, why me? The question is, try me. Control your emotions. Don't let them control you. A strong mind does not mean you never feel emotions. It means you feel them deeply, but you don't let them hijack your decisions. Anger, sadness, jealousy, fear, these are all natural. They remind us that we are human. But the difference between a weak mind and a strong mind is this: the weak mind becomes a slave of emotions, while the strong mind makes emotions its servant. Think of it like driving a car. If your emotions are behind the wheel, you will crash. But if you are behind the wheel, you can use those same emotions as fuel to drive forward. Anger can destroy you, or it can give you the fire to stand up against injustice. Fear can paralyze you, or it can sharpen your senses and prepare you for challenges. The choice is yours. Most people make the mistake of reacting instantly. Someone insults them and they explode. Something doesn't go as planned and they panic. But mentally strong people respond. They don't react. They pause, they breathe, they think, and then they act with wisdom. Control doesn't mean suppression. It doesn't mean you pretend you're not hurt. No, it means you acknowledge your feelings, but you don't allow them to dictate your destiny. Just like a warrior feels fear before battle, but still steps forward, you too must feel the storm inside and still walk calmly through it. When you master your emotions, you master your life. Because no one outside you can disturb your peace if your inner world is under your control. The mentally strong don't give their power to circumstances. They carry their power within. Turn pain into power. Every person on this earth carries pain. Pain of rejection, pain of betrayal, pain of failure. Pain of dreams that never came true. But here lies the secret: the strongest people in the world are not those who avoided pain. They are the ones who transformed it into their greatest power. Pain is like fire. If you fear it, it burns you. But if you learn how to use it, it becomes the energy that forges steel. Every painful moment of your life is like a hidden treasure chest. Inside it is not despair. It is strength, resilience, and wisdom waiting to be discovered. Think about it. Every successful person you admire has a painful story. They didn't rise in comfort, they rose in struggle. Napoleon Hill himself said, "Every adversity carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit." The question is, do you find that seed, or do you waste your suffering by only complaining? A mentally strong person asks different questions when pain comes. Instead of saying, "Why me?" they ask, "What is this teaching me? How can this pain sharpen me, strengthen me, and shape me into someone greater?" That shift of mindset changes everything. Pain can make you bitter, or it can make you better. It can make you quit, or it can make you unshakable. The difference is how you choose to interpret it. When your heart breaks, instead of closing it, use it to understand others more deeply. When failure crushes you, instead of hiding, use it as evidence that you dared to try while others never even began. Remember, pain is not your enemy. Pain is your teacher. And when you learn to embrace it, when you stop running and start listening, it becomes your greatest ally in building mental strength. Because those who have suffered deeply and risen again are the ones who become unstoppable. Discipline over motivation. Motivation is powerful, but it is temporary. It comes and goes like the weather. One day you wake up inspired, ready to conquer the world, and the next day you feel like doing nothing at all. That is why mentally strong people do not depend on motivation. They depend on discipline. Discipline is the bridge between your goals and your achievements. It is the quiet force that keeps you moving forward even when your feelings scream at you to quit. Motivation asks, "Do I feel like it today?" Discipline says, "It doesn't matter how I feel, I will still do it." Think of athletes who train every single day. Do you believe they wake up excited every morning? Of course not. But they tie their shoes, they show up, and they put in the work. Why? Because discipline has trained their minds to act beyond emotions. The truth is, if you only work when you're motivated, you will never achieve greatness. But if you master discipline, Even on the days when you are tired, bored, or uninspired, you will keep going. And that consistency is what builds real strength. Discipline is also freedom. It may sound strange, but it is true. When you discipline your habits, your sleep, your work, your diet, your focus, you are no longer a slave to laziness or procrastination. You take back control of your time and your destiny. Mentally strong people understand this success is not built in the big moments of inspiration, but in the small daily acts of discipline. Reading one more page, doing one more push-up, writing one more line, practicing one more hour. These are the bricks that build empires. So don't wait for motivation. Train your mind to act even without it. Because when you choose discipline over motivation, you are no longer relying on chance. You are relying on your own strength. And that is the foundation of mental toughness. Silence negative self. Talk. The strongest battles are not fought in the outside world. They are fought in the mind. And one of the greatest enemies you will ever face is not other people, not society, not circumstances. It is the voice inside your head that whispers, "You can't. You're not enough. You will fail." This negative self-talk is like a poison. If you let it grow unchecked, it will destroy your confidence, steal your dreams, and paralyze your actions. You may have the talent, the skills, and the opportunities, but if your inner dialogue is toxic, you will sabotage yourself before the world even gets a chance to. Mentally strong people recognize this enemy and refuse to let it dominate. They understand that the mind is like a garden. If you allow weeds of self-doubt to grow, they will take over. But if you deliberately plant seeds of courage, confidence, and belief, you will harvest strength. Silencing negative self-talk does not mean pretending those thoughts don't exist. It means catching them the moment they arise and replacing them with empowering truths. When the voice says, "I can't handle this," you reply, "I have handled worse, and I am still standing." When it says, "I'm not good enough," you remind yourself, "I am growing every day, and progress is proof of my strength." This is not just motivation, it's mental training. Every time you silence that voice, you rewire your brain. You build new pathways that favor confidence over doubt, action over hesitation, and slowly, that once loud critic inside you becomes quieter, weaker, less powerful. Think about it, many people never fail because of the world. They fail because they convinced themselves to quit before they even tried. But mentally strong individuals take control of that inner conversation. They become their own biggest supporters, not their own worst enemies. The mind believes what you repeatedly tell it. If you constantly feed it negativity, it will accept defeat. But if you train it with affirmations, focus, and empowering beliefs, it will carry you through storms that would crush others. This is why mastering self-talk is one of the greatest weapons of mental toughness. Detached from the opinions of others, one of the greatest prisons people live in is the prison of other people's opinions. How many dreams are buried because someone said, "That's impossible"? How many talents go to waste because society whispered, "What will people think?" The truth is, if you want to build mental strength, you must learn the art of detachment from the opinions of others. Because the moment you allow their words to control your actions, you hand over the steering wheel of your life. You stop living for yourself, and you start living as a puppet for their approval. Think about it, no matter what you do, people will always talk. If you succeed, they may call you arrogant. If you fail, they may laugh at you. If you stay quiet, they'll say you're weak. If you speak up, they'll say you're loud. You can never win in the court of public opinion. So why waste your energy trying? Mentally strong people understand this. Other people's opinions are not your reality. They are just reflections of their own fears, insecurities, and limitations. When someone says, "You can't do it," what they often mean is, "I can't imagine myself doing it." But your vision is not limited by their imagination. Detaching does not mean arrogance. It means freedom. It means being so grounded in your own values, principles, and goals that no amount of criticism or praise can shake your direction. Whether the world claps for you or laughs at you, you keep walking your path with the same determination. History proves this. Every innovator, leader, or change maker was once doubted, criticized, or even mocked. But if they had listened, the world would have never seen their greatness. From inventors to artists, from leaders to thinkers, those who dared to detach from opinions became the ones who reshaped history. So ask yourself, are you living to impress others, or are you living to express the purpose within you? Because the more you chase approval, the weaker you become. But the moment you stop caring about the noise, you unlock true mental strength. the strength to live authentically, unapologetically, and freely. Practice emotional control. Emotions are powerful forces. They can be your greatest allies or your worst enemies. Anger, fear, jealousy, and frustration have destroyed more lives, relationships, and dreams than failure itself. But when emotions are mastered, they can fuel greatness, resilience, and strength. Being mentally strong doesn't mean you never feel emotions. It means you don't let emotions drive your decisions. Imagine emotions as wild horses. They are strong, fast, and full of energy. If left uncontrolled, they run wild and take you into chaos. But if you hold the reins, you can harness that energy and direct it toward your goals. Think about anger. Uncontrolled, it leads to arguments, broken trust, and regret. But controlled, anger can become passion, the fire that pushes you to fight injustice, to push harder, to prove yourself. Think about fear. Left unchecked, it freezes you, keeps you stuck in your comfort zone. But mastered, fear becomes awareness, sharpening your focus and making you more prepared. Mentally strong people don't suppress emotions. They transform them. They understand that emotions are signals, not dictators. When sadness hits, they ask, "What is this teaching me?" When fear arises, they respond, "How can I prepare better?" When anger burns, they channel it into constructive action. This is the art of emotional control, responding instead of reacting. Reactions are instant and usually destructive. Responses are thoughtful and aligned with your long-term vision. Imagine two people facing the same problem. One reacts in rage, makes a mistake, and regrets it. The other pauses, breathes, chooses calmness, and finds a solution. The difference isn't the problem. The difference is emotional control. Life will test you. People will provoke you. Situations will frustrate you. But the mentally strong person is like a calm captain steering a ship in the middle of a storm. The winds may be violent, the waves may be high, but they keep their grip on the wheel. Because losing control even for a second can sink the entire journey. When you master emotions, you master yourself. And when you master yourself, no storm in life can defeat you. Build consistency, not motivation. Most people wait for motivation before they act. They wait for that spark of inspiration, that perfect mood, that magical day when everything feels right. But here's the truth: motivation is unreliable. It's like the weather. Sometimes sunny, sometimes stormy, sometimes completely absent. If your life depends on motivation, you will live inconsistently, achieving little and regretting much. Mentally strong people understand this secret: discipline beats motivation every single time. They know that greatness is not built on bursts of energy, but on steady, consistent effort, day after day, even when they don't feel like it. Think of it like going to the gym. On some days you feel pumped, energized, and excited to work out. But on most days you might feel tired, lazy, or unmotivated. The difference between the average person and the mentally strong one is this: the average person skips, waiting for motivation to return. The mentally strong one shows up anyway. And it's that consistent showing up that transforms the body, the mind, and the life. Consistency creates momentum, and momentum creates results. Imagine pushing a heavy wheel. At first, it feels impossible. It barely moves. But with consistent pushing, it starts rolling. Soon, it gathers speed, and suddenly, the wheel that once felt impossible to move is unstoppable. That's how consistency works in life. It starts slow, but over time, it builds unstoppable momentum. Motivation may get you started, but consistency keeps you going. A writer doesn't finish a book because they feel inspired every day. They finish because they write a few pages daily, no matter what. An entrepreneur doesn't succeed because they always feel motivated. They succeed because they work on their vision relentlessly, even on the days when doubt whispers louder than hope. Consistency is also what builds trust with yourself. Every time you follow through on a promise you make to yourself, whether it's waking up early, exercising, studying, or working, you strengthen your self-belief. You prove to yourself, "I can depend on me." That self-trust becomes the foundation of mental strength. So remember this: it's not about doing extraordinary things once in a while. It's about doing ordinary things every single day. The world doesn't reward intensity. It rewards consistency. So, my friend, remember this: mental strength is not a gift that some are born with. It is a skill you build, step by step, choice by choice. It's about facing reality instead of running from it, training your mind the way you train your body, and protecting your energy from negativity. It's about saying no when needed, taking ownership of your life, controlling your emotions instead of being controlled by them, and above all, choosing consistency over fleeting motivation. Life will test you, challenges will come, people will doubt you, But if you hold on to these principles, you will rise stronger after every fall, calmer in every storm, and unshakable in the face of every obstacle. Mental strength doesn't make life easier, it makes you stronger. And when you are strong inside, no force outside can break you. So don't just listen to these words, live them. Start small, build daily habits, and trust the process. Because the truth is this: the strongest version of you is not far away. It is waiting for you, hidden within every choice you make today.